So, Jesus Christ, I'm not wrong everything. By the time you're seeing this video, I'm going to be 33 years old. And throughout cancer, chemotherapy, seizures, stroke, the plethora of things that have passed you in life, it have a lot of lessons that I get taught in a way that I really wasn't ready for. But there's one lesson that was the most profound. Most birthdays, they follow the reflection formula. This is what I achieved this year. This is what I learned this year. This is what I get this year. This is the woman I married this year. This is the house I buy this year. This is the car I buy this year. What you do with your life this year? Damn. The older I get is the less interest I have in trying to make my life into some kind of progress report. Because life teach me a lesson early on that most people don't get to learn sometime for their whole life. Life don't really care about your plans. It don't. I mean, I was a happy 15-year-old going to school on the verge of getting the first boob in my hand, and cancer was like, fuck you. That is one of the most important lessons I learned from surviving cancer and from cancer on the whole. When life puts you in the situation, the best thing and the easiest thing or the simplest thing to do is just fuck it. And I know, just now, wait, hold on. I know somebody going and say, hey, Jeremy, say fuck it. Let me go and do some cocaine and drink some beers. And I don't mean it in the self-destructive way, like fuck it, fuck everything. Give up on your dreams, give up on your hopes, give up on your aspirations, give up on everything. Life too short to be carrying things that don't deserve the weight of being carried by you. So fuck it. For most of my life, especially when I get cancer and I saw the way people were acting around me, like, hey, you're gonna dead now and we're gonna miss you forever. I had to be the strong one. I had to tell people, hey, no, don't worry, I coming back home, them kind of thing. It taught me a lot back then. I used to think about or consider what people thought about me a whole lot. When you have a village full of people around your bed crying for you like you're going to dead, when you're suffering from a disease that literally trying to make you die, it's either one out of two things. It's either you become strong or you succumb to, And coming out of cancer, I had that same problem, but it also drew to a different line, like what people expect of me now, that I get this gift to survive a life, and so many other my friends, especially my best friend who died during the time that we both were battling cancer, she didn't get an opportunity. A lot of them didn't get an opportunity. So I used to think about the expectations that people had on me, and they did, and they still do. But again, fuck it. That is not my responsibility. Because whether you think you're not successful enough, you're not handsome or pretty enough, you're worried about the missing teeth in your mouth that fall out when cancer happens and chemotherapy destroy half your body, whether you could measure up to people your same age bracket, or if you were intentionally or unintentionally left behind for some reason. And the funny thing is, this is life. Even if you don't have the complications that I had, people will judge you and still think you're behind. Or they're going to think you're too early, you're too inexperienced. Or they're going to think you're too old to start this, or you're too young to start this, you're too uneducated, or where you think you know everything. That is the way people, you could never win over people. You could never win 100% of public opinion. And that is what I was chasing. That is what a lot of people chasing right now. Chasing 100% of public opinion praise. And the thing that people fail to realize, and that I had to realize to come to a mindset where I wouldn't go freaking mad, is that people don't measure this by the parameters that surround your life. People just expect this, hey, this is the blueprint that we were handed when we were children, that we forget that not everybody playing by the same rules. So when I started to look at it like that, you had to understand, although everybody expect everybody to be measured at the same equal level, we don't look at the denominator. The denominator is most often never common. It's never the same thing. Some people have it better, some people have it worse, some people have it So you start to ask yourself, right? This is what I do. I start to ask myself early on in life. Because all these people had this expectation and you trying to meet them. So I just asked myself, what if I just stop though? What if I just stop? What's going to happen if I stop? And that's exactly what I do. I said, fuck it, and I stop. Now somewhere along the line, probably at the time when I realized that all my friends move on in life, the girl I was with really have any interest in you again because you're stuck in the same place. I used to be tormenting myself, like, oh, caffeine. And then I come to terms with the fact that what I actually wanted was a fucking peace of mind. That is what I wanted. I thought these things would have given me peace of mind. A good girlfriend that will be a wife, a good group of friends around you, like brothers. And what I was really looking for was peace of mind. And if I could find peace of mind by myself, why in the fuck I looking for it outside there for? You had to realize something, and there's something that I had to realize, right? The peace of mind aspect, we giving away our peace of mind to total strangers, to people who don't consider you in the same way that you consider them. Fucking people on social media, you refreshing your page, trying to see if the person reply to you, and that person living their life happy with probably their wife and the children and the thing like Randy Marsh, and just coming on periodically to just tell you, you know, your balls back hairy and you getting vexed and you tripping off and you want to kill everybody. You had to understand that your peace of mind and worth that dog, it's not worth it. But so much of us try to portray or live our life, especially online and on social media, that we really can't live in real life, that we can't afford to, that we can't, we really cannot do this tomorrow if the people who doing it for we stop. I would want to say, for the sake of the video that turning 33, have me reflected on that. But dog, I reflected on this since I was 17, 18 years, lie down in a hospital one night if I'm going to see tomorrow. So all these struggles that I had, trying to keep relationships going and them kind of thing, it was like one-sided in a sense, because I was like, what is the sense? If all you don't have the same amount of interest or input in what we're doing, what is the sense? To me, my time here right now is about spending it with people who matter. My parents, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, the people who actually care for me, the people who I actually care for, spending time building something. I don't expect this channel to reach Will Tennyson level, 1 million followers, 10 million followers, or any kind of thing, but I building this hoping to reach 1 or 2 people who survive cancer, people who need some direction in their life from, the lessons that I learned. I don't know everything, but I learned some lessons through the things that I face in life. If you happen to be one of these people who had a fuck up life, sometimes you had to say fuck it. You had to put your shit on the front burner and turn off all the back burner so you get all the gas on that one burner that in front there. You don't want your gas pressure being distributed throughout 6-7 different burners when none of them buying the gas. When the gas is done, you have to go and buy it back. Switch off all them burners, put all that pressure towards your front burner and burn it the fuck out. Alright? And this is a question I had to ask yourself. I had to ask myself this, and I had to come to terms with this and face this reality myself. Are you at peace when you are alone? A lot of people don't know because they're not alone. They're never alone. Even when they by themselves, they're not alone. They're on social media. Spend some time alone. Are you really happy alone? And if you're not happy alone, where does your mind go to when that happiness fades? This was the hardest thing for me to come to terms with, right? Especially after losing my best friend during that time. I didn't feel like I deserved to live the life I was living. You have to understand that nobody coming to give you permission to live. And that is what I was waiting on. I was waiting to feel living was acceptable now. The damage at losing not only my best friend, but seeing so many little children, I'm talking about children between 1 to 5 to 6, 7 years old, lose their life during chemotherapy and cancer, it does something to you. It does something to you mentally. And it leaves you asking yourself, do I deserve the opportunity that I was given? And am I allowed to enjoy it? Sometimes you don't feel like you're allowed to live because of the people that you see didn't get the opportunity. One thing that I had to come to terms with is that nobody coming to give you permission to live. You have to take it. You have to take it by force. grab it by the fucking dick.
Oh my god. Oh, dick quit!
I mean, if it's a man, you might want to grab it by the pussy like President Trump. And in the same token, nobody going to tell you it's okay to start over. I had to start over about 10, 15, 20 times. I started over again right now. Nobody going to tell you it is okay to follow the dreams that you have. You know, the goals that do align with what the picture reality is supposed to be. Nobody going to tell you that, you know, it's okay to disappoint people. Because that's a big issue I had also. I had a big issue with having people disappointed in me or having people be upset with me for something I was unable to fulfill. No matter if it was out of my control, out of my power, something I couldn't physically do or something I wasn't mentally capable of doing. I used to be worried to the bone, to the point that I used to get anxiety that somebody would be disappointed in me. What? This is a decision that you have to make for yourself. Nobody can make it for you. Parents can't make it for you, your brother, your sister. You have to figure out that for yourself and come to terms with it. And that is what it actually means. Not giving up, not checking out, not becoming bitter or annoying, because trust me, I've been down that road. You could ask my Facebook friends, and really don't do nothing good for you. Just deciding that your energy is finite and certain things deserve it and certain things don't. Sometimes that might be hard to come to terms with. It might be lifelong friends, siblings, family members, person you think you're going to marry in the future. And those things are hard to let go of. But sometimes you have to just say, you know what, fuck it. Because if we really look at the larger scope of things, me surviving cancer at 19 years old, 20 years old, living to see 33, I literally living on borrowed time. More than other people. Most people think when people say to them, one day you're going to run out of time, that is anecdotal, that is theory. You know, it's there, but it's there as yet. You never know. I never thought in my wildest fucking dreams I would have to be in a doctor's office at 15 years old with he telling my mother and father and myself, hey, you have bone marrow cancer, stage 4, and it's looking like you're going to live past 50. I didn't plan for that. And trust me, when that time comes, the last thing you'll ever think about is I should have spent more time worrying about what people thought about the way I live my life or the things that people think about what I am. ChatGPT seemed to think that you might be thinking about you'd want to live more years, you know. That way your mind is going. No, your mind don't go there. Your mind just go to the point that all the fucking opportunities that I miss in life because I was scared, because I didn't want to take them, because I was worried about how people would think about me. People could think I weird, and people could think I funny or fruity or some kind of thing. And how many opportunities, how many privileges you had that you let pass you because you are afraid to how people will perceive what or who you are. That is the thought that was running through my mind that time. Your mind just go to these things where you falter, where you didn't give 100%, where you doubt yourself. And honestly, now at 33, to say that I have less questions than I had at 23 is a lie. I have fucking more questions than I had at 23. This whole growing up shit, real fucking confusing. But I could tell you this, life have enough things for you to carry, for you to be carrying things that is not necessarily yours to carry. And for everything else, there's no way. That's not the line. And for everything else, fuck it. Hey Jeremy from Mongnal, I'll wish my happy birthday in the comment section. Now come now. Let the algorithm see me a little bit. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one later.